Hey guys, this is linear correlation coefficient number 7. Statement at the top says linear correlation coefficient between two variables is 0.34, and they want to know which of the statements below best describe that correlation coefficient. So there are two things to keep in mind when we're going to look at the description of a correlation coefficient. And the first issue is the issue of direction, or whether or not a correlation is positive or negative. And that's indicated really easily when we get the correlation coefficient. Since there's no negative sign there, we assume obviously that that's a positive number. And so right away we can eliminate letter D and letter B because they both assume that that correlation is a negative correlation, and of course it's not. So if you look at the language next, and what distinguishes then A from C has to do with whether or not the correlation is strong or weak. So the first thing I'm going to point out to you is they don't give you the option of moderate here, and it's not likely that they're going to. They're going to give it a number that makes it relatively obvious that the correlation coefficient will either be strong or weak. And the way to kind of think about that really easily is how close that decimal is to the number 1 or to the number 0. And if we think of 0.5 as being in the middle, let's say as it approaches 1 on that side, we're going to be getting stronger. And as we go from the 0.5 down to the 0, we're getting weaker. And 0.34, being less than 0.5, would fall somewhere in there, which is obviously closer to the 0, which is going to make this a weak correlation. So weak and positive, the answer is C.